fantastic Indian dangerous spy who flies across from Iran to Pakistan, then goes to Balochistan, then goes to Afghanistan, then goes up in a stealth bomber and starts finding out how to destroy Balochistan. You believe it? You want to add some more masala to it? You were monitoring his activities for 8 to 9 months. What were you doing? You were writing a novel on him?
A very poor script. Its endurance is not more than 10 days at best.
Tonight, Pakistan will have to introspect whether they want to take the ties forward or resort to cheap theatrics to drum up the non-existent global support. Bureau Report, Times Now.
The News Hour at 10 with Arnab Goswami.
Sushil Pandit, Maroof Raza, Brigadier Mahalingam, let me start with you. What do you make of this spy video that the Pakistanis have put out? I said on top of Newshour tonight that it appears that the person is looking straight. His eyes are locked. Brigadier Mahalingam, like he's reading from an auto cue machine on a script that is being put before him. There is a lip sync. The lip movements and the audio are not matching. Then there are 3 cameras which have been edited in a very strange way. And the raw video has not been put out. Now this video...
The point is that just a few days have passed. I don't know how Pakistan has been able to get so much of information and been able to get him in a fine shape right in front of everyone and get this particular thing produced. Now the point that we have to remember is that Nawaz Sharif last year went to United States and handed over dossier. The entire world laughed at it because it contained no substance. And now, before he goes to the nuclear summit, they wanted to produce one. But luckily, the Lahore blast came to save him, and then he is not going there. All these things that is being done by Pakistan primarily to save their face. Now let me tell you, India cannot be the beating boy of Pakistan for its set of lies and deceits. That is a point. As far as this video is concerned, as I can see it, as you very rightly brought out, it is absolutely doctored and it has got no meaning whatsoever.
Well then why are we talking to them? Maroof, this video has made its magical appearance 4 days after the so-called arrest of this person. It has been timed exactly to match with the Pathankot JIT from Pakistan doing the rounds, here in India. So why are we talking to the Pakistanis anymore? It appears to me today that what's really happened, Maroof, is that the ISI has effectively taken over the dialogue process, whatever was remaining of it, between India and Pakistan. It is deciding which way things are to go and is therefore strategically putting out this kind of information to stymie the process. Why are we appearing so keen to talk to the Pakistanis now? I mean, why are we, despite all of this, still laboring, saying, please talk to us.
Arnab,
let's have another conversation, please. Let's disregard all that the ISI is doing and keep working towards some, hypothetical Indo-Pak peace. Maroof.
Arnab, that's a question that has haunted me for most of Modi government's tenure, and even in the past. You've also had the last UPA government, which has done a number of flip-flops. Some saying that Pakistan exports terror as a policy, to then saying there's a trust deficit and things of that nature. I think as far as this former naval officer, he's a retired naval officer, so there is no service element involved in it, firstly. Secondly, the facts never added up for me from the very beginning. What's a naval officer got to do with a desert insurgency? More so an insurgency which has technically been around since independence, but aggressively been around since the 1970s by Musharraf's own admission. Thirdly, most importantly, the fact is a spy does only collection of information. Those who do subversive activities are not spies. So Pakistan has to make up its mind, firstly, to what extent they want all the lies to add up. Is it a spy or is it a person who is initiating subversive action? They are two different things. The third thing is that if they call him a spy, the so-called spy, under the Vienna Conventions, we need to get consular access to the man, because his country is owning up to him. In the past, if you see historical evidence, particularly in the Cold War, very few spies were openly owned up to. There were discreet exchanges done even by powerful countries like US and then the Soviet Union, now Russia. In this case, the government has taken a very strong stand, which is heartening. Because once the government takes a stand of this nature, this is the least that this individual can expect for in terms of support. Now, whether Pakistan will comply or not will prove to us that is Pakistan serious about respecting international law.
But then, Maroof, the logical
because
thing,
on one side, Pakistan
the logical thing in the given situation is,
and Arnab, the most important thing.
No, the logical thing, Maroof, is, well, let's not talk to Pakistan anymore. I mean, I see no purpose. I mean, there will be doves here, like Shabnam Lone, who's joining us right now.
Absolutely, Arnab.
No, there will be doves.
Arnab,
there will be doves.
That's been my position.
Yeah.
That's been my position from the very beginning.
Yeah.
That's been my position from the very beginning since 26/11. Yeah, there are other ways to engage with Pakistan by making them feel the pain without talking to them.
Yeah, stop
Unfortunately, there are a bunch of doves in South Block who have been tutored on a policy of diplomacy where you need to engage with anybody and everybody. Yeah. Unfortunately for them, the world has changed a lot in the last 2 to 3 decades. The world that they grew up in learning diplomacy is not one. And interestingly, the ISI, which shares a similar acronym with the ISIS, ISI is doing exactly what the ISIS was doing at gunpoint, making people give statements on camera. And worse still, Pakistan's entire information machinery is controlled by the ISI's ISPR.
But we should
quite clearly, everybody in Pakistan is walloping and taking up information that is being fed by
therefore,
the
let's get the doves into the debate.
The central point is, why are we talking to them?
Let's get the doves into the debate. You know, in this case, there's a hawk versus dove debate. That's the way it's presented. I would actually say, Shabnam Lone, that it's a realist versus romantics debate out here. You can't have a romantic view of our relationship with Pakistan. I mean, there is no better time, Shabnam Lone, to stop talking to Pakistan. They are hell-bent on subverting their own commitment to act on terror. They have been unwilling to grant consular access to a fellow Indian Kulbhushan despite India openly acknowledging him to be a citizen. They have responded to our overtures with nothing but betrayal time and again. I'd say tonight, Shabnam Lone, stop talking to Pakistan, close all conversations with Pakistan till the matter of Kulbhushan is settled. That is the only way right now that is remaining vis-a-vis Pakistan, Shabnam Lone. But you have a different perspective and I'd like you to present it. Yes, Shabnam. Why should we talk to Pakistan now in the given situation?
My perspective is, no, I have always said that talks should be meaningful. If talks continue just for the sake of talks, of course, it's a situation then which really raises many questions. Now, with regard to the present spy case of Mr. Kulbhushan, yesterday you saw the Pakistan JIT team was here. Obviously, the Prime Minister has taken a very big risk. But sometimes I suppose in such situations, it's worth the risk.
No, it's not. No, it's not anymore. No, it's not anymore. It's not anymore.
No. There has to be
not anymore. Shabnam Lone.
There has to be a
Shabnam Lone, let's get Sushil Pandit in.
There has to be a cohesive opinion.
No.
There has to be
it's not our responsibility.
Opinion on that.
It's not our responsibility. You see, now we should snap out of the conversation with them.
It does not mean that your voice represents the majority voice or the majority opinion.
Shabnam Lone, you cannot ask us to trust Pakistan when it goes to the extent of framing a completely fake narrative.
I have not
a fake narrative over the arrest of what it calls to be an Indian spy.
Come into question.
Over what it calls.
That is not my narrative.
Shabnam Lone, you cannot ask us to trust Pakistan when it goes to the extent of framing a completely fake narrative over the arrest of what it calls is an Indian spy and then concocts a video of his saying that he's a raw agent. I mean, this Sushil Pandit, if there was ever any doubt about what the Pakistani... No, they want... No, one second. Shabnam Lone, the Pakistanis want to... The Pakistanis want to call off the conversation. Why are we hanging on to it? We can't sacrifice our...
I'm focusing on India. With respect, I'm saying that India increasingly looks like a helpless nation. You don't have a Pakistan policy. You don't have a Kashmir policy. You are going round the bend. It looks like a nursery lullaby rhyme that there are three parties, we have to talk. These cocktail hugs will not solve the matter. I am with you on that count. But I'm saying that now have a policy. Have a policy.
What three parties are you talking about? There are only two parties. 1 second, just let's make it clear. There are no three parties of India, Pakistan and Kashmiris. There are two parties. Let us make it evidently clear there is India and Pakistan. Kashmir is not a third party to the dispute. 1 second, 1 second, 1 second. 1 minute, 1 minute. Shabnam Lone, listen. Shabnam Lone, I agree.
May I question with respect, in what capacity? In what capacity?
Shabnam Lone.
With respect, in what capacity was Hurriyat then allowed to go to the Pakistan High Commission? It would be normally construed that they are a third party to the dispute. Otherwise, you explain to me on what basis were they allowed to go to the Pakistan High Commission.
Listen, the Hurriyat has not sought the permission of the government of India to go to the Pakistan High Commission. You want to hype the importance of that, you can continue to do so. That's not even the issue. The issue tonight is Sushil Pandit. 1 second, Shabnam now. Here the other side, Shabnam, 1 second. Shabnam, 1 second, please. 1 second. The point is simple tonight. Call off the talks. I mean, Sushil Pandit, there is no better time than now. You say you are presenting some kind of video fiction to us in the form of this so-called raw agent. You are parading it. You are timing it to Pathankot. You are deliberately doing it because you want to scotch the peace process. So let's go ahead. Let's put the onus on the Pakistanis. How long will we carry the burden, Brigadier Mahalingam? How long will we carry the burden?
Absolutely.
And why should we carry the burden, Sushil Pandit? Why should we carry the burden of talking to Pakistan anymore?
There is an old saying.
Yes, Sushil Pandit.
There is an old saying.
Let me tell you, it is just not the point regarding putting out the video. Just see the last 1 month's issues that have taken place. The Jaish-e-Mohammed's magazine, Al-Kalam, that was which was closed. It has been brought back in just about a month's time back. The Pakistan and US had a bilateral dialogue in US on their strategic arrangements. Now they bring in Kashmir to it. Then we are aware that as far as the Balawal the seminary is concerned, that one and the Kholistan deserts where the training of JE militants are taking place, these are very, very active as of today. Therefore, Pakistan is giving you enough indications of their intentions. If their intentions were clear and if they want to talk, none of these would have happened. But now, as you see at the moment, the Pakistan's intention is very clear. It does not want to have any talks. And it is the Pakistan's military which is sort of dictating the terms. Even today, the JIT which has visited, it has got not even a single member of the investigation team. The entire lot are intelligence persons. If I were there in that particular team, I would be rather looking for what sort of a plan that I make for their assault into Pathankot Airways, what went wrong, and these are the things. And we are taking exactly those places, these individuals, to show it to them and so that they can
Brigadier, let's look at it logically now. This entire approach that we have had vis-a-vis Pakistan seems to be predicated on the fact that we believe that we are the big brother in the relationship. And therefore, Maroof, by virtue of being the big brother in the relationship, we carry upon us the onus of somehow, Maroof, plowing on with what is a non-existent relationship, plowing on despite Pakistani provocation and despite, what on earth is going on here? I ask the people watching the Newshour tonight. Ask yourself this.
Arnab,
we have had the decency, Maroof, just 2 minutes. We as a nation and as a people, Arnab, we have 1 minute. We have had the decency to tell this bunch of Pakistani intelligence officers that please come. We will fly you to Pathankot in a BSF plane and tell you to investigate your own crime. That's the level of diplomatic decency, Maroof, that we are showing tonight. And many people are unhappy with what the government is doing, and yet we are doing it. And while we are doing it, Pakistan puts out a video of a person deliberately timed and says that he is a raw agent. I mean, this is clearly aimed at diverting attention from the subject of terrorism, which is India's core concern in bilateral ties. This is like India walking into a situation of its own making, and I'm asking the viewers tonight, Maroof, and you can say it, it hurts us. Here we are actually affording the Pakistanis this luxury of saying, please come, investigate your own crime, and on top of it, you're parading an innocent Indian man, putting out a video of his, putting out a rubbish story that he's a spy, putting a fake video out, running this propaganda on Pakistani television. Maroof, the Pakistanis are not interested. Why are we literally begging them
Arnab, there is an
to continue in this conversation? Let us just pull out now, Maroof. There is no better time. The people of India will support it. Let us pull out. Forget what Shabnam Lone, all the other doves, all the other so-called Kashmiri voices say on this. This is about our national interest now, Maroof. And national interest should come first. Maroof.
Arnab, there has been a strong constituency in Delhi and in Washington, as far as I know, which continues to believe that India must make all the concessions while Pakistan is a mischievous child, and it should be sort of acceptable to us that, you know, these are the mischiefs that an indisciplined little boy will continue to do. Pakistan takes advantage of the underdog status that it has had. Ever since independence, they have exploited that, whether the British allowed them to take a foothold in what we call the POK, or even subsequently the Nehru government accepted the line that, you know, we had a strong case and therefore take the issue to the UN, and the UN resolution, they've continued to interpret it the way they see it right. And I argue the same as far as the JIT is here. They are not going to come up with any evidence and information which is going to embarrass them, because you're getting the very perpetuators of the crime and the act to come and investigate what went wrong with their strategy. And so therefore all the cover-ups are going to be in place. You've also touched on a very important point, that there is no motivation for Pakistan to seek peace with India. The military establishment, which controls the mindset of Pakistanis as far as India is concerned, will see it completely as a loss of business for them if there is any resolution between India and Pakistan, notwithstanding the aspirations of the Kashmiris that this is the only way out to resolve the problem. I have also argued always that the future for the Kashmiris lies in embracing India and getting on with the success story that India has to offer to its people, including the Kashmiri people. Now, finally, my central point is that this entire fabrication has got so many loopholes. You know, if you follow very closely, all ISI doctored initiatives, they always slip up on the finer points. Even in these 26/11 attacks, the ISI, and Headley has admitted to that, allowed the attackers to wear saffron bands on their hand indicating that they were indigenous Indian attackers. Eventually that, and there were Pakistani analysts on TV who eventually went to town to say, haven't you seen those saffron bands? That is why it's an Indian attack on an Indian establishment to embarrass Pakistan. Quite clearly, Pakistan has no interest in this investigation,
so let's pull out.
In these talks, or anything in a long-term solution with India. India must exercise the goodwill that it has in the international community, and now in the aftermath of Brussels attack, in the aftermath of so many other terror attacks, including the one that's held in Lahore, that Pakistan must be told that if they don't abandon this tryst with terror, Pakistan will completely go down the black hole that this created for itself. Pakistan doesn't see the light of the day. It is not incumbent on us to show them the light.
It's not.
Let them drown in their own misery.
That is the point. That is the point. But yet we pull back every time, Maroof. And why do we pull back every time? When we know that the people of India are against this meaningless conversation with Pakistan, the reason we pull back is because we think that there are elements in Kashmir which would like to see a constant India-Pak engagement. Meaningless. gets us nowhere, Shabnam Lone.
Yes.
It leads to an insulting situation for the people of India.
I don't agree with you.
No, 1 second. Today we must realize, Shabnam Lone, that Indian national interest is more important than indulging a few Kashmiri elements. Our national interest is against this so-called conversation that's going on with Pakistan. Sushil Pandit also wants to say something to you.
Arnab,
call it
respect. I just want to make a point.
Arnab.
I just want to make a point.
No.
Arnab, I just want to make a point. This obsession that we have with Pakistan, can we now put the onus on India? I am saying, India, you are deficient. Why are you?
I'm sorry that even after today, you come out and say, India, you are deficient. You should come out and say, Shabnam Lone, Pakistan, you are deficient. Pakistan, you are insincere. Pakistan, you are not serious about the talks. Pakistan, you are the perpetrators of terrorism. Look at the ease with which, Shabnam Lone, the ease with which you come on an Indian television channel and say, India, you are deficient. You should go out and say today, ISI, you are deficient. You should say, this is the problem. This is the basic problem.
Tell me.
Brigadier Mahalingam, please. I say pull out of this conversation with Pakistan.
Since the independence, where Pakistan has shown some sign where they want to have real relationship with India. Has any of the talks which Vajpayee and Manmohan Singh kept on having with Pakistan, has it shown any progress? Have they done anything? Show me one particular instance where Pakistan showed some sincerity. Everything that Pakistan does is with a view to put down India. There is not a single instance of sincerity Pakistan has shown today. So for God's sake, don't doubt the sincerity of India and let us have a very clear cut.
I'm with you. Decide if you don't want to talk, don't talk. But why you?
No, we don't want to talk to Pakistan. You please tell me one instance which.
And you are
please give me one logical reason why we should talk to Pakistan. Is there any instance? Please tell me one instance why we should talk to Pakistan. Have they ever shown any sign where they want friendship with India?
Just a point. 1 second. Shabnam Lone. 1 second. Maroof, I put a proposition before the viewers of Newshour tonight.
Yes,
that today, an Indian citizen at gunpoint, clearly, after being subject to the most inhuman treatment, which is what the Pakistanis do all the time, has been made to read from a written script which has been edited and put out, and that fake video has been put out all across the Pakistani media, and it has been put out and timed with the presence of the Pakistan JIT in Pathankot. Now, Maroof, I think that this is a clear statement of ill intent. And I propose tonight, I'm putting it out, Maroof, and viewers, you can, if you agree with me, you can tweet on this subject. My view on this is very simple. Unless we get consular access to Kulbhushan, and we begin the process of bringing Kulbhushan back to India as per a due diplomatic process, India should call off any form of further communication with the Pakistanis. Maroof, this is the luxury.
That's a fair point. I agree with you.
More than that.
Okay, Maroof, if you support that, you can tweet on Pak Double Game. Pak Double Game. Maroof.
You have to seek Pakistan's international isolation.
Yeah.
You have to seek Pakistan's international isolation. You have to make them feel the pain. Let me remind the viewers, Arnab, and let me remind ourselves that for a young Indian diplomat, Devyani Khobrakade, the Indian government took on the entire US government and put the US embassy and all their staff on notice in India. And here there is a citizen who is being harmed, and he's an ex-service officer. Please give him some dignity of his status. And you are not even willing to address that issue. If they're not giving consular access, let the Pakistan High Commission here wind up and let the Indian High Commission there come back. Pakistan will gain. Pakistan
absolutely. Brigadier Mahalingam. Brigadier Mahalingam.
They will anyway keep firing at us. They will anyway keep attacking us. Has that stopped? In 25 years, because of talks, have terror attacks stopped? Nothing has stopped.
There has been no benefit because of their presence in this country.
Right.
They must wind up, and I entirely agree with Maroof that this is time to tell Pakistan to wind up its complete establishment here and go back to Pakistan. And as far as India is concerned, we don't need any presence of ours in Pakistan. We need to get our embassy and other staffs back. That is the only solution.
Mufti Nasir-ul-Islam. Mufti Nasir-ul-Islam. I take your word. Mufti Nasir-ul-Islam is joining us now. Mufti Nasir-ul-Islam, we know exactly what is happening right now. At a time when we were very nice to the Pakistanis, we allowed them to come to Pathankot. Right? We are involving them in investigating their own crime, which is ridiculous. The Pakistanis have gone and put out a video of an Indian businessman saying he's a spy. It's a fake video. It's quite clear that it's a fake video. Audio, video don't match, badly edited, etc. The general feeling right now is that unless India gets consular access to this person called Kulbhushan, all talks with Pakistan must be just closed down. All further communication should be closed down unless Kulbhushan is returned to India. The only stumbling block seems to be Sushil Pandit. That people like Mufti Nasir-ul-Islam and Shabnam Lone will start saying, oh my God, we the Kashmiris want the conversation to go on between India and Pakistan, regardless of... One second.
Unfair.
What is unfair?
I'll tell you.
What is unfair?
Don't bracket. That is very
I'm not bracketing. I'm saying that you are also for the continuation of talks with Pakistan, regardless of any provocation, and so is Mufti Nasir-ul-Islam.
Revisit our last
So is Mufti Nasir-ul-Islam.
I had said that declare this Basit persona non grata. That day you had said, what a comment you have made.
No,
Didn't I say that?
Mufti, Shabnam, please don't. Shabnam, please don't. Shabnam, please don't. The question is to Mufti Nasir-ul-Islam and Sushil Pandit. Mufti Nasir-ul-Islam, the view is now that regardless of whatever some marginal sections in Kashmir think, just finish off this conversation between India and Pakistan till this matter of Kulbhushan is settled. There is no need to have, Maroof also supports it. Give us one reason why we should talk to Pakistan anymore, regardless of what they do. You see, the provocation from, despite the fact that you take very known anti-national positions, the provocation from Pakistan shows that they are not serious. Why should you talk to anybody who's not serious about the dialogue in the first place? Yes, Nasir-ul-Islam.
Arnab, first, I don't know anything about this debate because I came very late. The thing is that Pakistan is your neighbor, irrespective of Kashmir issue, irrespective of other issues. You have to dialogue with them. You have to talk to them. You cannot deny this fact that that Pakistan is your neighbor. And you can't do any business.
I know your known pro-Pakistan position. I know your known pro-Pakistan position, but generally the growing view in India is we've tried hard enough with the Pakistanis. You see, one second. Mufti Nasir-ul-Islam, the view is they have responded to our demands of tough action on acts of terror by dilly-dallying every time. They have done nothing to assure us that the perpetrators of terror are dealt with an iron hand. Instead, those who have undertaken attacks us are allowed to roam freely within Pakistan. Now you have this whole incident, Maroof, which has now cropped up, which is new, which is that of a fake video, which is of provocation. Maroof disagrees with your view. And Nasir-ul-Islam, let me tell you, across the country today, people's patience has slowly snapped. Maroof, I think we've indulged all groups, including groups in Kashmir like Mufti Nasir-ul-Islam for far too long.
May I remind the respected Mufti Saab? Mufti Saab, give me a minute, please. give me a minute. I just want to bring out two quick incidents. One is, after the 1962 invasion of the Chinese, India stopped engaging with the Chinese for more than 10 to 12 years before we reopened our diplomatic missions. And we had a serious issue over Tibet. Now, Pakistan has been attacking us relentlessly since for 25 years at least. Now, if that is not an act of war, when thousands of Indians have died in Pakistan-initiated attacks, and we are still engaging with them, so what is the advantage of engaging with them? The only way, Mufti Sahab, you can get something out of Pakistan is to trump them and put them on the back foot by coming up with a strategy which they never anticipated you to take, which is to call off all engagement, and then let us see what trumps they come up with after that for us to engage with them. Because we can live without engaging with them. Pakistan cannot live with isolation. We can get their isolation because of the international goodwill we enjoy. America notwithstanding, the rest of the world is with us. And let us understand that Washington should not dictate our relations with Pakistan. Unfortunately, Washington has a stake in Pakistan, and Washington has a stake in India, and we are falling in line to the American line, and that is what is disheartening. We talk of sovereignty. We have surrendered our sovereignty, unfortunately. Give me a reason why we should engage with them, even after pressure from the Americans. We can live with the rest of the world engaging with us, with or without the Americans. I'm sorry, and I'm not overstating our case.
And Maroof,
please get real in Kashmir also.
And Maroof, the fact is that we have tried. Modi even landed up in Lahore as a gesture of goodwill. What have we got in turn? We have tried hard enough. So if we pull back now, Shabnam Lone, besides people like you, besides Mufti Nasir-ul-Islam, the whole world will accept that we made the overtures. We did everything that we needed to with the Pakistanis. The provocation now is needless.
Arnab,
the provocation
you are trying to bracket me in a situation which I don't hold. Now listen to me. If India is a powerful country, you and Maroof have put up a very powerful, now listen to me, you have put up a very powerful argument. Question is, agar dam hai aap mein, to kijiye na, kyun nahi karte hain? I will support you people.
What do you mean,
the fact is you vacillate.
The talks are going nowhere, we call it off.
See, you could not handle a Basit. You could not handle a Basit.
But why are you so? Why are you always so intent?
And did it.
Why are you intent? Shabnam.
He went ahead and did it. You could not handle a high commissioner. Leave alone a country.
Shabnam. Please understand this. Let's wind the clock back to October 2015, when the Pakistanis went to the length of attempting to conjure a fictional dossier trying to prove India's role in Baluchistan. That dossier was not even taken at face value by the US, which snubbed it in that very month. Today the world will congratulate us if for some while we call off the conversation with Pakistan, which is anyway going nowhere. The entire world, Maroof, who today will question after the recent provocation from the Pakistanis?
Why should India be dependent on America? You are the world's largest democracy, cannot be dependent on America. America is a self-centered country. They want to do what suits them. Now India should know what suits them, not whatever America wants, that they have to do it.
Precisely.
They can't jump every
Precisely, which is why we need to call off the talks. Brigadier Mahalingam, Brigadier Mahalingam, last word.
The point is very simple, Mrs. Lone. The point is that even recently, when the Pakistanis went to US for their strategic dialogue, they brought in Kashmir. What business has Kashmir got in a strategic dialogue between Pakistan and United States? The entire thing is, if you look at it very logically and with an open mind, the Pakistan is not sincere. It has no meaning whatsoever to bring about peace and have dialogue to proceed. And if there is one logical reason, I am prepared to say yes.
Well, I think the provocation.
Talk to them.
You see, Shabnam Lone, understand. There has been deliberate provocation by the Pakistanis in the case of Kulbhushan. After this, we have allowed them to come to Pathankot. We continue the talks. We end up looking weak vis-a-vis Pakistan. And no right-thinking Indian, including you, Shabnam Lone, including Nasir-ul-Islam, who does not respect his own country, but that's another point, would ever agree to a situation where your own country looks weak vis-a-vis Pakistan. We will take this discussion forward tomorrow on the Pak double game. For tonight, my question, for tonight, for tonight, let's put a vote. Let's put a vote on whether or not India should stop all conversation with Pakistan till the matter of Kulbhushan is settled. I thank you all for joining me on debate number 2 on the Newshour tonight.